Hello, fellow doodlers, and happy Valentine's Day, or late Valentine's Day, because I procrastinated too long, so I'm posting this on Tuesday. But I'm pretty sure we all know what Valentine's Day is. The day for sweethearts to do sweetheart things, like go out and eat, give each other chocolates, and whisper sweet nothings into each other's ears. Or read about 6 sarcastic criminals doing something stupid for money. I was wondering who my first OC couple was, and while I'm writing this script, I remembered a couple that I made before this one, but too late! This is, however, the first couple I wrote about. This is Emily and Peter. They are characters from my second story that I wrote about. Now that I think about it, I wrote the afterwards, or the story after the events of this story was my first written story, if that made sense. Wow, I really can't stay on track, can I? Okay, story first. Emily is the main character. She's a cliché chosen one of the prophecy. A long time ago, the magical lands were at war. To keep the evil wizard, who I forgot the name of, from winning, a good wizard, who I also forgot the name of, cast a spell that put the world in a book. Don't ask. It doesn't make sense to me now either. Each sector of the realm was sectioned off into chapters with an impenetrable force field separating them. Not even the dark wizard could get through to take over the other lands. Emily gets her hand on this book. When she tries to read it, she's sucked in. And that is where she meets Peter. I don't think I had a reason for this. Supposedly, Emily was the only one who could cross borders or go into different chapters. And, I just sort of made it to where Peter could as well. I actually didn't have a realistic reason. If I remember correctly, Emily met Peter when he flattened her because he was flying too fast. He was curious about the strange human and followed her around. Very annoying. He was basically Puck from the Sisters Grimm, a book series I was really into at that time. Still am. Great series. He was loud, sarcastic, a trickster, and a high ego. So yeah, Puck. Emily was a Mary Sue. She adapted to the situation quickly, totally accepting her destiny. She was kind, bright, smart, oddly strong, and no flaws. I didn't really plan the chemistry. I think Peter fell for her first, though. The cliche of, he fell for her kindness, bravery, and overall boringness. Yes, I'm crapping on my own characters. Compared to my more recent OCs, I've actually come a really long way. I never did finish Emily and Peter's story, but I did try to rewrite it several times. Obviously, Emily would successfully defeat the Dark Wizard and the world would be saved. Yeah, that sounds really boring. She would return home a hero with memories of the past and probably never going back until later on, when she would be summoned back, I guess, with 2 twin boys that ended up going with her. The original couple that was supposed to happen. I think one of the twins was the first male lead and the second male lead was the other twin. That would have been... I'm glad I didn't write that. Oh my gosh. I think that story was about saving the dying dragon race. But, back to these 2 characters. If I was to plan these characters out today, I think this is something how I would plan it. Emily would have trouble connecting to the kids at her school because she was previously homeschooled. She would read books to cope with having no friends. When she's inside the book, the fairies would probably put a lot of trust, and they would kind of probably put her up on a pedestal, and she wouldn't want to let them down. So she kind of just does everything to the best of her abilities while still learning about the world and trying to cope with being in a strange world, being told that she's the chosen one. This would probably put her under a lot of stress, and she starts doubting herself through the course of the story. Peter is the son of the Royal Guard commander. He was not this in the original. I don't even think I planned his family in the original. Due to his father never showing him attention, Peter grew up thinking he wasn't good enough. he turned to pranks and rude behavior to get attention. However, this made him put up walls and bottled emotions. These two do not instantly connect like in the original story. They butt heads a lot due to their contrasting personalities. Emily thinks he doesn't take things seriously, and Peter hates the attention Emily gets without really doing anything. After an argument where both snap, they accidentally reveal their inner thoughts or secrets. Now knowing why Peter is like this, Emily understands him and helps him get over the past and face his insecurities. Peter, through this, warms up to her, and when Emily has a nervous breakdown later on in the story, Peter is there to help. Peter becomes the one person Emily can confide in, and Emily becomes the one person that Peter knows understands him. With this mindset, they really just grow closer throughout the story, and stronger as a couple and as characters, building on each other and supporting each other. And if I had more time, I'd probably pinpoint a few more things in the story, but this is what I came up with in the short period of time that I had. I think that's it. Compared to my most recent OCs, these I have definitely improved. Definitely. My characters, I've checked with for Mary Sue's and Gary Stu's. I don't think any of them particularly are, and if they are, that means I'm probably just still working on them. And I think that's it. I really enjoyed talking about my old OCs and redoing them with my current mindset. Honestly, I got a little carried away and really took the redo seriously, thinking about how to make them better without changing the original idea my younger self had. I think I was around, this was like 6 years ago. I think I was around 7, 8, or 9. And I think that was when I was really just starting to get into writing, so of course these characters would be Mary Sue's and Gary Stu's, and the story would be very cliche, and I would not write any of that these days. that's it. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you had a great Valentine's and a great rest of the week. Leave a like before you leave if you thought this video was funny, helpful, or just overall fun to watch. And see you next week. Bye!